Hi guys, it's George Hewitt here. Welcome to the Supercoach Swordplay podcast.
In pick 16, Brisbane Lions have selected Darcy Wilmot from Say that again.
Jeez, I love you blokes. G'day guys, what is cracking? A very, very quick review tonight. Just finished watching the Lions Suns game. Very happy that the boys got up, missing some really key, crucial players, but I think just showed that bit of class at the end, got over the line. I'm trying not to be biased here, but getting excited for this season. A three-peat would just be an absolute dream. I'm not getting too greedy. We've experienced one before, but gee, the boys were looking pretty good. The Suns got off to a pretty decent start. You know, Noah Anderson, I thought, here we go. Here's a 150 type game after his first few minutes, but really slowed up in the end. And as I said, I think we just showed our class towards the end of the game. So I'm really just doing a quick live rather than recording, so I can just get out as quick as possible. Rather than having to edit, upload, all that, it's a lot quicker just to go live. So I haven't really done this for a big Q&A type operation, but more just have a chat about the game and a few things that I've noticed. I took a few notes down, nothing in huge detail, but as you would have seen in the title, a particular rookie really, really impressed me. Didn't dominate the Supercoach scoreboard in regards to points, but tell you what, very, very impressive play. You probably already know who I am talking about. Oh, we do have some comments already. I didn't, 25 people, and I didn't know if we'd even have anyone on. I thought I'll just do the live and people can replay. But my great mate, Jack, is on. How are you, legend? Great man, how are you? Very, very well, mate. Had a huge day. Spent most of the day in the Herald Sun office with all the great lads, Dos, Vance, Ellen, and Chloe as well. When I say the lads and ladies, fantastic day. Patch, Dan, just wonderful, mate. But a big day. Airline, how good did our lines look without 7-8 starting players? As I mentioned, mate, yeah, good to see some of the younger kids getting a go. Thought ZZ looked good. Absolutely did, mate. Kiddy's role worries me a little bit, though. Yeah, we'll talk about Kiddy very, very soon, mate. Oh, here's another great mate of mine, Woody, the wooden spoon darter. How are you, mate? The big man, mate. Very, very impressed with what you've been doing in the preseason. I want to have a chat with you, mate. Let's have a good chat, and I want to see who you've got on your side, because I know both Janath and I are both swaying a little bit towards what you were doing with your data with the Bont Dacos type pick. So I think you may have been on the ball there, mate. Just to sang, how are you, mate? Zack Bailey's that guy we've been looking at all preseason and is making it more and more tempting. I do have some notes on him, mate. It was a fantastic game from Zachy. Thoughts on Link McCarthy, mate? Yeah, well, let's get to it. Because I'm sure lots of the questions are actually going to be about particular players. So I will go through all the players now. I've got Cheesy here as well. How are you, legend? Can you sell me the Coleman pick? His scores in previous years have never been that impressive to me. It made sense after the round 23 grand final as he looked to be up. But now I just need to be sold. Still, I don't know if I can sell you in, mate. I don't know if I want to sell you in because currently not in my side. But look, let's just crack right into it. I haven't got notes on all the players, and as I said, nothing in great detail. It's so hard when I've got my computer trying to type a few things, then you look down, you miss certain things in the game. So it was a bit of a mission, but let's crack into it. Charlie Cameron now copped a little bit of stick, didn't he? Well, not him personally, but Sam McClure for having him as an A grader. Went with Cameron over Josh Dunkley. If we look at the Supercoach scores, Sammy, you are the GOAT. Absolutely right by the look of this. But yeah, fantastic game from Cameron. Didn't set it alight. 2 goals, 18 touches, 83% disposal efficiency is really good. And I suppose those score involvements help with that. Now, Chocky, this man still has it. Now, we did have the official Supercoach draft today. Did manage to land Chocky with, it was a later type pick as my M3. So very, very happy with that. But Chocky, I've just got here, still has it. Like I said on Draft Potty today, opening clearance, 4 clangers, 67% disposal efficiency was hurting him at halftime, 15 touches, low meters gained, but then really went on with his work in the second half as well, ended with 30 plus disposals, and that score, well, we've said in the preseason, is it going to be Ashcroft that take that next step? McCluggage, we expect, will just continue on. Will Chocky slow down? Well, according to tonight, no, 31 touches, if you don't mind. But, yeah, it was at, well, actually, in the end, he got it up to 74, which was nice. But, yeah, 125 points, very nice from Chock. Now, this is a man that lots of people start talking about, and you're absolutely right. Check this out, 25 touches, 15 kicks, 10 handballs, 2 goals, 3. This guy would have a Norm Smith medal if he could just be a little bit more accurate around the sticks. But what do we got here for Zack Bailey with the notes? And again, don't expect anything too fantastic. So early goal from 50-meter penalty, bit of a gift, then just dominated that second quarter. If he had have kicked straight, then wowee. It's a contract year. I reckon I've underestimated him. It's just that role, that half-forward role. Consistency has been a bit of an issue with him, but given the Lions, how well we're travelling at the moment, I legitimately think that he's right up there with our most important players. Now, will he start copping some attention? I think there's a slight chance because he's just so damaging. As I said, if he gets his kicking boots on, this man could be absolutely anything. But yeah, it was so up until half time, 15 touches, 2 goals, 7 score involvements, and 399 metres gained for 79 points. And then didn't do as well in that second half, but really did he need to? What a game from him. It's an awkward one with the bye. He'll certainly be a pod pick. I don't know what his ownership is at the moment, but very, very impressed I was with Zack Bailey. My man, the Pepsi Max King. Everyone has to love this bloke. There can't be a supporter in the game that does not love Darcy Wilmot. And Jai Farah, you are a dirty dog, mate. There was about 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of a preseason match. And where's Jai Farah's stats? So what did Farah do for the game? He's not even on the screen. They're right at the bottom, Jai. So 3 disposals and 1 absolute dog act from you. So congratulations, mate. Enjoy your time in the resis, Jai. You absolute... Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But come on, you know what I mean? It wasn't the most serious thing you've ever seen, but 3 minutes to go, preseason game, you've done bugger all. Why just try to knock out a bloke? Particularly this man here is just loving, favourite player in the comp. So 103 points. Look, seriously, the issue with this is that Zorko wasn't in the side. So what's that kicking split going to be? If you checked out my preview of the Lions in the season guide, at this stage, I wasn't sure exactly where Kiddy would fit. And I had Zorko, Wilmot, and Kiddy as probably the main 3 that would be taking the kick-ins. But I don't have numbers in front of me, but he took a fair few tonight. So very impressed here with the Pepsi Max King. Brucey Revel isn't really relevant there. Now, Josh Dunkley, all I had for the notes was he didn't get out of second gear. I suppose as Huey went off, he sort of upped his game a little bit. What did he finish on? 22 touches. So, as I said, just didn't really get out of second gear, Dunkley. Levi Ashcroft, very solid game from him, 96 points. Could it be a breakout year from him? Sort of bloke that doesn't even need that inside midfield time to score well. He's an absolute freak. Just think about what this bloke's going to be producing in 3 to 4 years' time. It's going to be scary type stuff. But as a draft pick, I think yes. In classic, I just think the price is too awkward for the role. Now, Huey McCluggage, I had a couple of notes on him. Skills, so sweet, lovely wheel around from 50, doing the grunt stuff, so tackled really well. I know he had 6 in the first half. I didn't take too much after that. 68 points he had in that half as well. And then in the third, he had that opening clearance, laser tackle like 30 seconds later, then that direct goal assist to Morris, just beautiful on a plate, rocketed to 84 points. And that was in 1.5 minutes of playing time. But then apparently got a bit of a corky, and they just said, very, very smart, take the rest of the game off Huey. But he showed in basically a half and a minute and a half that he's one of the most elite midfielders in the comp. I should have taken him in that draft over Noah Anderson, I think. We'll get to Noah in a sec. I'll take a quick break and see if we've got any comments. Yes. Oh, probably got a heap here. All right. We'll get to Kiddy in a minute, Cheesy, as well. Jackie, definitely going to target Bailey, Neil Hugh after the buys. Yep, absolutely, mate. Thoughts on Ryan Marriage with no Tom McCarthy down back? Oh, look, I really, no for me, mate. I'm just going to say straight out no with the other options that we've got. I'd want to see it first. I'd happily pay up 30 50K more if the role was really, really good. So it's a no from me, mate, just very, very quickly. Need some techniques done, sales techniques done for me. You're not going to get them from me at this stage, and we'll talk about Kiddy in a sec. ZZ looked good. He absolutely did. Look, at the start, I thought Witts is going to dominate here. Curtin was obviously the man that got the first opportunity, then ZZ came in, so it was a bit of a tandem here. And how good from the Lions. Like, these are two blokes that you wouldn't think would see much game time this year unless injury really strikes. But with Fort and Draper to come back, wow, what a performance from those two. One frustrating thing for me, and this is what I want to see, who's going to be that second ruck? Are they, when both players are fit, are they still going to go with Fort and Draper? I just don't think that they can. If you want to still go with your Gallup, your Morris down there as well, and Oscar Allen. So that's going to be really interesting. I want to know if they're going to do more of that split, which I'm leaning against now. I want to know who's that Joey Danaher for us in regards to that ruck chop out type role, because that's a nice role at Brisbane. I think that's our preferred way of doing things if possible, but I just don't know who that man's going to be. Could it be an Oscar Allen? I'm not too sure. Logs away, mate. Hey, don't forget them Lions. How about them Blues? Oh, the Baggers, mate. I missed out on the catch. It's a very, very long story, but wow, the Baggers and Sammy Walsh. I was worried for him at the start, mate, but good to see. Nothing too serious. Windsor or Blackiston or Xavier Lindsay, none of them for me. But I think, if any, probably Blackiston, just for that. The issue is his run is tough at the start, his ruck run. I know he plays Gorn. Is it someone else? I forget off the top of my head. So I don't really like any of the picks at this stage, mate. Jolly Kitty looks to be a bit of a liability defensively, I thought. Yeah, all right. So we're getting a heap of questions on Kitty. So let's just go straight down to Kitty for a sec. So 58, we'll go through the stats. So 58 Supercoach points, 14 touches, 10 kicks, 4 handballs, 6 marks, the single tackle, free kick for, free kick against. A little bit concerning, only 267 meters gained. And Kitty is a defensive option. You want him high on the meters gained. So that's probably the first little red flag that we see there now. And remember, I tweeted this out right at the start of the game in case you didn't hear it. What was the exact quote? I forget what the exact quote, but something along, Fagan was interviewed before the match, and something along the lines of, look, we've trialled him up forward, he played well, we've had him down back at times. We're going to have him down back for this game, and we're going to hopefully look to settle him there. Now, did that mean just for the game? Did that mean going into the season? I'm really not too sure, but excuse me, that's something to take note of, as well as Link McCarthy. He switched his role up, so he was playing in defence. Some people getting a little bit excited, but he did play forward and actually played really well. I think he may have almost played his way into the side. I think it was, well, I'll be able to see, I think it was 2 goals from Link. But yeah, looked really good there. And what's he end up on? 82 Supercoach points. But back to Coleman, 71% disposal efficiency. It was that one clanger that was not fantastic. But the positive thing for me is that 83% TOG. The negative is, he had that TOG and didn't really produce. There was nothing that really stood out for me with Kitty that made me go, yeah, we really need to select him. The great thing is we've got another round. So we've got the opening round with Zorko back in the side to see what he's actually going to do. Now, it looked to me like the Pepsi Max King got a little bit of concussion there. I hope not, because he did stay out. But look, if that's the case, then Kitty most likely plays. Oh, no, it's opening round anyway. Yeah, well, but Kitty most likely plays that role, that Wilmot role, if he's out. So we may be getting fool's gold. It's a tough one. At the moment, Kitty's not in my side, and he actually wasn't in my side before this practice match as well. So the main issue, apart from, I think, the fact that he didn't get much of it, not many meters gained, was his defensive efforts. Now, there were 2 early on where I think the first one off the top of my head was Leo Lombard, and I forget the second one, but he just was not good defensively in those one-on-one contests. And I think someone may have commented that a bit of a liability defensively for us, because you got to think, we've got Zorko that can attack. We've got Fletcher now. We've got Monty. We don't, and it sounds terrible, we don't necessarily really need Kitty down back there for that attacking type role. We've got other blokes we can rely on, and we have for the last couple of years while he's been out. So I definitely think he stays in the side, but I'll go back to what I've said originally a few weeks ago now, is that I think he'll most likely start on the bench and just when players are coming off for rest, whether that be in the defensive line, in your half forward line, I think Kiddy will be that man to just fill that role. At this stage, according to Fagan, it might be more defensively, but my gut feel would be after tonight, potentially a little bit more forward time, but I've got nothing to back that up. That's just a little bit of gut feel after his performance tonight, but I definitely think he stays in the side. Scotty, how are you, legend? Neil making it about footy. Bring him in. Thoughts? He's going to be a massive pod. He's going to be a massive pod. The issue is, in the last couple of years, he has been dealing with some lingering issues. They're just small issues. And remember, last year, he came back just for the grand final. So at his age, I just don't think I'm willing to take the punt. As I said, a fantastic draft option if you can get him on the cheap. But for Classic at his age, with his issues last year, probably not for me, Scotty. But when fit, if he plays, I think he'll continue to score well. And he'll do a lot better than what I was thinking anyway, mate. Dodgy Malaka. I can't say that way, mate. What was Grundy's points per minute today? No idea. Sorry, mate. But ask one of the legends on Twitter. They will be able to hopefully help you out there, mate. Hope you well. Cheers. Was it Bentry? I was going to call you Brenta, but Benath, cheers, mate. Appreciate you, buddy. Metal Pig, hey man, Bailey with 2 goals, 3 behinds. He's going to produce a few massive scores this year. Absolutely. When he gets off the chain and actually kicks straight, he could go to the moon. Remember, he should be very close to a Norm Smith medalist. So, yeah, massive fan of him, mate. Woody, it's out now, mate. Beautiful. Got to check that out, mate. I got lucky with the injuries for the preseason, but I think I need some changes already. We'll see. Very keen to see what that side's looking like, Woody. Mass, how are you, dude? The fiddler Kiddy Coleman was get out of it. Don't call Kiddy that. Don't be mean to Kiddy, man. But he was exposed defensively in those one-on-ones, absolutely. Jeezy, you can get Chucky pretty late in the draft. It's pretty elite. Yeah, well, I forget what selection I got him at today. There'll be draft content out. I sat down with the boys to do the potty, which was pretty cool. A bit of a last-minute inclusion there. And we obviously did some draft content, which is pretty cool also. HLA, a legend all the way in Thailand. Hope you're drinking a couple of bintang. Or is that barley? Barley's bintang, isn't it? But yeah, I had a range of different things in Thailand, mate. And I'll tell you what, make sure you like table tennis. Go to a ping pong show, H, if you like your table tennis, mate. You'll have a good time there. So, g'day from Chiang Mai, DR. Is Yulin and Kiddy a fade? How did McCarthy look? You still keen on Noah? So, all right, there's a few names here that we'll go through. So, Kiddy, yeah, fade for me for now. I just talked about him, obviously. McCarthy actually looked okay. A couple of goals. I think he's worked his way into a spot. And I think all I've got on my notes is I think I put down I'd much rather him over Jamara. So, if I'm picking between the two, they've obviously both got a buy. McCarthy's cheaper. I'm selecting Link McCarthy over Jamara. Jamara, to me, just looked really fumbly. I think up to, was it close to halftime, a couple of touches, did have a goal, but very sort of fumbly. And we understand this. He's been a year out of the game. Don't know what's going to happen with the big fella Walter, likely suspended, and stupid act from him as well, silly passer. But I think he'll be out, which, hey, Jamara may get a game, but I think if all the big men are healthy, I'd be most likely, I think one of the commentators mentioned it, most likely playing him in the VFL for all, just to find a bit of touch. We know what his skills like. If he can get close to his best, this man's a fantastic addition for them. But you didn't ask about him. But just if you're comparing the two, I'm going with McCarthy over them. Now, Euland. All right, so let's get some, what have I written about Euland? All right, so Ezekiel, not much of it in the first stage, but look, classy, nice little run, nice little handball. In the second, he actually, I remember this, hit the contest harder. It was either Morris or Gallup. I think it was Gallup, both going for it, and he just wanted it more. And I was really impressed with that. I thought these are little things that you want to see. Obviously, with Gallup being a much bigger body, I think it was Gallup. It was one of our bigger boys anyway. So that did impress me. Followed that up as well. Also read the ball well. got the crumb in the last 20 seconds. I think this might have been, it was. This was just before halftime, it was. But then he butchered the kick, went out in the full. Someone took the free. It was an assist to another Lions player and kicked the goal to give us the lead just before halftime. But I really rate this bloke's IQ, and it was a nice crumb, and it was in a crucial stage of the game. Unfortunately, just didn't finish off his work, but we forgive the young kid for that sort of stuff. So did some nice things. Nice little kick to track I've got in the middle in the third. Copped a half-decent hit from Brucey boy. A bit of welcome to AFL football. Got down on the haunches, but he was up pretty quickly. So he seems like a toughish sort of a kid. And in the second half, he basically replicated what he did in the first. And I think it was around 8 touches, 28 points in the half, basically doubled that. So for me at 200K, I'm not starting him from what I've seen. Look, round one, he could come out and dominate. It's nothing against him as a player. If his price point was at the 119 to just say 130K, yeah, I'm in. I'm grabbing him, but not at that price point. I think we've got way too many 119K and maybe a little bit above that players to choose over someone like Euland. I think his job security looks pretty good. And hey, he's going to be a player. Really looks like a player. Got his him and his brother mixed up a few times. I got a little bit more excited than I should have, because it was actually Bodie a couple of times as well, taking a lot of kick-ins from obviously from the back line, not the forward line with kick-ins. But yeah, look, they're my thoughts on Zeke. So I'm a fade at the moment, H, but people may disagree. They may have seen enough to go, yeah, look, playing Brisbane, tough opposition. They've got a really nice, easy run. Surely his ceiling's a little bit higher than what we saw tonight. So that's my thoughts anyway, mate. And who else did you have there? Sorry, your comments gone. McCarthy, Ewan. Yep. Oh, and Noah. Yeah, Noah. Mate, the first 3 minutes, what have I got here on Noah? First 3 minutes, I thought this guy is going to absolutely dominate. So I've got here just absolutely sublime, lovely running goal, the 1-2, then a direct goal assist from the CBA, almost bombed another one from outside 50 with a couple of minutes to go. But then very quiet after that. I think it was around, 12 touches, around that mark, 12, 14 touches in the first, but very, very quiet in the second. It did have some lower TOG compared to the first, but it was only the one handball there. Disposal efficiency was hurting him. So it was only 58% at halftime, then butchered a goal in the third. He was sort of going around the corner there. I don't know if he's trying to pass. I think he was trying to go for goal. But look, it wasn't enough to concern me to take him off my radar. I've currently got him in my side. I'll have a really good think about that. Didn't scream pick me, put it that way. But with your premiums like Noah Anderson, I've seen what he can produce, and I'm still confident that he's going to be a really good selection for us this year. I'm not going to write him off after one half ordinary game, and that efficiency did hurt him. He could have scored a lot better, but hey, maybe he just took the pedal off, gas off the pedal a little bit towards the end there, buddy. But yeah, they're my quick thoughts with them. Rook, how are you, my brother? Oh, the temptation to go with Chalky. It is tempting. As I said, just with his age, I can't go there, but I think a lot of people have underestimated him, put it that way, including myself. I'll put my hand up for that. I'm not innocent of that whatsoever. But yeah, my gut feels changed a little bit over the last few weeks. I've just seen something a little bit different, particularly the way he's been going at training and match sims. New day, I'd be furious after the Pepsi Max King went down. I abused this man. Many expletives, but it's just a stupid dog act, I reckon, anyway, mate. But I'm not going to get too upset over it. How good is our depth? Yeah, Trav, absolutely phenomenal, mate. All the players who were missing. Real like ZZ. Yeah, ZZ just sounds better, doesn't it? I say Z, but ZZ sounds better. Yeah, really like the look of him as well, mate. And that just goes to show the type of depth. You wouldn't have, well, you probably would have heard of the name because it's such a unique type name, but yeah, very impressive. Have you heard Zorko has done plenty of goal kicking practice this preseason? No, I have not. That is absolute news to me. So if he has, that'll be interesting. But from what I've heard him say in an interview is he'll just continue to do his work off half-back. I don't see any reason for us to chuck Zorko forward. There's no way that you're going to prioritise someone like a Kiddy or someone like that. So I'm calling no on it. But, hey, if I haven't got any info on it, mate. Klug looks amazing still. Price is very high, but the guy's a scoring machine. as I said, just so super, super classy, this man. Just elite. And I think that was more precautionary. If it was a normal game, he would have run that out. He's a tough sort of lad. Link McCarthy, good pod. Could be at the price. What's up, big fella? Big J, how are you, mate? Yeah, up and about after that Lions win, mate. Massive day. Oh, have I got my bag in here? I haven't. I've got a pretty cool Dwayne Russell story as well. He's a legend. He's gone up in my book so much, Pipes. Jace, how are you, mate? Love the content all preseason, mate. Appreciate you, dude. Not fully convinced with Petracca, but maybe a dangerous fade. Do you think the fridge could keep up with Petracca's scores? I'm not going to go that far. Look, I've got to give more respect to Track. Look, I'm big on Jolly Boy, as you know, but I think I need to give Track a little bit more respect than that. But hey, I'm going to get burned for this when he is the 4th CBA mid and all this sort of business. I've got Jolly Boy going 100 for an average. I've got him going triple figures this year. It's a big call. It's probably a silly call. I'm too big on him for my own good, I think, but that's just the way I feel. And I trust what Matty's told me as well. And look, even if it changes, then so be it. You got to make your own decisions. But yeah, I'm very big on him. Now, Track, let's quickly talk about Track. Right. Okay. So 92 Supercoach points, nothing major there. 24 disposals, 12 and 12. So 50-50 split, the kick to handball ratio. 4 tackles, which is all right. Oh, my battery's running low. Oh, is this the right charger? What have I done with it? I'll be back. Charger. Oh, it's all good. I think it's all good. Oh, as I said, been a big day. Completely forgot I didn't have the old charger. All right, there we go. Cooking with gas now. Talking about Track. All right, 358 meters gained. How impressive is this? So 18 contested possessions. So if you look at the next highest, we're talking 7 as the second highest in regards to contested possessions. So you look at that, 18 contested. How on earth you got 92? Well, the bloke absolutely butchered things. 67% disposal efficiency. And I do have a few notes here. And again, nothing in great detail, but Track. So early crumb forward, but miss. Strong in the tackle. So really stood up in some of those tackles, which is impressive. 6 contested touches just in the first 6 minutes. Quite in the next 10. DFA. I don't even know what that is. Oh, free kick against in the third, and then so this is given away 50. So just that 50-meter penalty against, that stopped him from getting to triple figures. If he just shuts his mouth there, then he gets 100 type score. So the big thing was him, and even here I've got just a bit messy. Another one, lovely burst clearance out of the center, and then he kicked it basically straight to Kiddy, and I think that was Kiddy's only intercept mark of the game. I could be wrong there, but that was the thing with Track. He did all the hard work, stood up in the tackle, as I said, was really strong in the contest, but just did not use it well. And we know this is associated with Petracca as a pick, and it has been for years, but it hasn't sort of put me off. I still think he's going to be a really good pick. And keep in mind as well, although Brisbane obviously had a lot of players out, it's still Brisbane, and they've got a fantastic opening run. So life will be a lot easier for him in the first 6-7 weeks of the season. He's not playing Brisbane every week. So I'm still fine with Track at this stage. Right. Dia, who do you have for the flag? Lions or the field? Lions, mate. Lions. I'm going with the boys. I got odds at $24 for Lions against the field. Put 50 on it. Oh, Trav, a betting man. I'm not a betting man. I don't really bet. I used to work at the casino in the mahogany room, like the high rollers room. Some of the things that I saw and witnessed there, like the world is different these days, but wow, we talk about an eye opener. What these people do in the high rollers at the Cass is just ridiculous. It's a shame Ballard says Mass 207K won't be ready for a few weeks into the season. Could be a good target. Yeah, the issue is when you bring in someone in at 200, you want to really target those cheaper type blokes, don't you? But no, absolutely agree, mate. And look, if you've got one of those mid prices, or even if you start with a Kiddy, he makes a little bit of cash, isn't working too well, then you could bring him in. He'll be after the buy most likely. So, yeah, solid player. Jace, thoughts on fading Euland? Yes, I'm fading him at the moment, mate. So I already talked about him, mate. As you probably heard, I'm probably way behind with these comments. Answorth literally needed no real shutdown defenders. Yeah, absolutely, mate. He'll come in for that Stars role, as you know. Crimson, pity Zorko was coming back because Big Brucey looked good in that role, didn't he? Such a tough man, and I love his disposal. It's like just a tease, and just a little clock, and just the whole name. He's a ripping bloke. I've met him on many occasions, had a good chat, sat down, had a good chat with Brucey, the most humble, quiet sort of a man as well, but an absolute legend and just a cool dude. Jimmy, how much do we think E. Hollands will cost us, mate? Oh, look, I've got no idea about Hollands. I haven't even thought about the bloke. Just too risky with his off-field stuff for me, man. Link, just one of those guys you want to see do well. 100%, couldn't have said any better. Has some rotten luck. Supercoach option, I'll pass. So I'd probably agree at the price. But yeah, if you're comparing him to someone like a Jamara, then I'm going him. But yeah, rotten luck, deserves a premiership, 100%. DMAC, Ty Galton option as a rookie pod. Oh, I think there are better options than Ty, mate. I think there are. Look, I think he probably keeps his spot at this stage, but it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I'd say there are better options at this stage. Not worse, not much worse than a ping pong show up here. Sorry, mate. You obviously had already heard about the ping pong shows. I thought you'll walk into this expecting some table tennis tables, and then, I just have never seen anything like it in my life, brother. In my life. There we go, Jim. Jim knows it. The Metal Pig. ZZ opens up the DPP some with Blackest, and if you get some ruck status come round 6, for those taking the punt. Nice call, mate. I just don't see him staying in the side for that long. But hey, if he somehow did, then absolutely not a bad call whatsoever, mate. Braddy, g'day, Brad. Hope you're well, dear, and you too, legend. Thanks very much for tuning in, mate. Jace, how are you, Jace? How good has Heaney looked in the past 2 games? Going to be such a nice pod. I didn't get to watch much at all of the second game today. I was actually on the way home on the train, and I had like 3% on my battery. I'm trying to plug my charger into my laptop that had a little bit of charge there, so didn't get to see it too much, but called it very, very early on. Freya's my favorite pod, but must be my second favorite pod is Isaac Heaney, and has been in and out of the side during the preseason, mate. So massive, massive fan of Isaac. Thoughts on Tuke Miller, the trademark? Look, as a player, love this man. Just love everything that he stands for. When other people left, he stuck fat and getting rewarded now. We've got here, very smart player. We know about his 2-way running and work rate, but it's that footy IQ. I think that is, I know until I really, really watched him closely today, I think I underestimated his footy IQ a little bit. Had that nice early crumbing goal. Changed from another set shot, but butchered it. Not long after, nice assist to Lombard, who I'm very, very excited about, who marked strongly in front of Coleman. So that was when we're going back to when Kiddy just didn't go well defensively one-on-one. That was one of the contests there against Lombard. But he did have 4 score involvements in the first, did Tuke Miller, and just continued on, didn't he? So it's that forward mid type role. He's super dangerous, and just with that running power, gets into good spots. Look, as a midfielder, probably not. But do you know what? I think there is a chance, depending on Rao's timeline, there's a few things that need to go right. Could he get forward status? Could he just rocket up to the top of the forward list? Potentially, I'm not too sure. But to start off with, I'm a no at the moment, as much as I love him. A little bit more opportunity without Rao, but probably no at this stage. But did rate his game. Oh, what's this? G-Bags. A $5 donation. Thank you very, very much, my man. Now, I haven't said this, but all the donations that I'm getting, I'm going to put towards Headspace as well. So thank you so, so much, mate. I really do appreciate that. You are an absolute legend and gentleman and a scholar. So you didn't have to do that. No one has to donate, but if you do, it is always much appreciated. So thank you very, very much, mate. Hey, dear, is Zack Bailey worth a look after this performance? Track and Lombard are also solid picks. Yeah, absolutely. I think Zack Bailey is worth a look. He's going to be a pod, but I do expect his ownership to start going up. Super dangerous as that half forward. And even more I'm not going to say even more dangerous from a super coach sense, playing midfield time. But I think for the team, he's more dangerous as that half forward. But wherever he is, just fantastic. Mentioned it before, it's a contract year for him. He's getting some big dollars getting thrown his way, some big dollars. But where I think he's really lucky in the Brisbane system is the fact that we've got so many other players that you want to shut down as well. The trouble is you can't shut them all down. We've got defenders, mids, and someone like Zack Bailey as a forward. So he's such a good fit for our side. And if he does go, and I wouldn't blame him, he's done wonderful things for us. And the money that, as I said, is going to get thrown his way, I predict or assume is going to be pretty ridiculous, but he's such an important player for us. Supercoach wise, the issue with Rat, and Rat is his nickname, so I'm not this in a very affectionate type way, but the issue with Rat has always been that consistency. But you could have said the same with Huey McCluggage before last season. He just went bang. Rat's really hitting his peak, hitting his prime. So yeah, I say yes. He's definitely an option. I'm comparing him with someone like a Freya, and I'm going more of Freya at the moment just because of that role. But absolutely, if you're keen on Bailey, if you were before this game, you're almost locking him in. And if you were having a bit of a dabble, having a think, then you're liking it even more after that, I think, mate. Track, yeah, again, I just think he's a really safe and almost obvious type pick. I know that early buy and then the mid-season buy is a little bit tough for some, including myself. But with that early run, I think that I'd rather start him than get onto him. He's not the type of player that's going to get to 600 plus, I don't think, early. Hey, if he cleans up that disposal, then maybe. We look at 18 contested. With Rail out of the side, he obviously steps up into more of a midfield role. Was switching early on with Bailey Humphrey, but I think he got much more of the pie than what Humphrey did to my eye anyway, but again, could be wrong. So yes, with Track. But let's get to Leo Lombard. I cannot believe, someone may have mentioned before, G, but I cannot believe that we haven't just had Leo, because to me, this was the most impressive performance of the night. It didn't show on the Supercoach score sheet, as I mentioned, but let's take a look at this just for a sec. So 78 Supercoach points, 16 touches, 8 and 8. So bang, straight down the line, 50-50 split. Had the 4 marks. Didn't lay a tackle. I was surprised there. It's tough sometimes. You think it's a tackle, doesn't get canned as a tackle. But yeah, I think that he's a sort of bloke that isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. So, yeah, I expect, 1 to 2 at least there in the tackles. Free kick 4, 3 goals. So this man really impacted the scoreboard. 270 metres gained from his position is super impressive in my book. Only 3 contested, but I think he can do more than that. 94% disposal efficiency. This bloke just does not waste it. 82% TOG. That's all good, I suppose. Don't even know what that last thing is. Can someone let me know, please, what that last column is? But let's get to the notes. Leo Lombard. Classy. I've got classy. A classy assist to Yuland, who passed to Took unselfishly. Took just squeezed it in. 5 touches and a goal. This was in the, I think, was it first quarter for first half? I think it was first half. But I've got here, every disposal, he had an impact. Copped a little high one in the third, then a smart handball to Anderson, who, surprise, butchered it. That's one where I was talking about Anderson kicked it round the side. And I've got here, just does the little things well. Such an effective play in the third. Nice fend off. Assist to Jamara. He's a player who doesn't seem to need much of it to make a big impact. And in the last, that lovely 1-2, nice step, fakes a handball and delivers for goal. Then lovely delivery to Long, follows that up with an elite finish from the boundary. Everything here is so positive. I've got here 100% he plays in round 1. Massive fan of him as a player. Locked and loaded for me. I'm playing him on field at this stage. Now, he's not going to kick 3 goals every game. I understand that. But as I said, you look at that efficiency, he just did not look like wasting a football. I don't know exactly what his score involvements were. at the end of the day. But everything he touched turned to gold. That's the way that I see it. And his class just really shone through. Got to remember, he's more of a mature body. He's not a first-year player. He was, I think, pick 9 a couple of years ago, a year ago, whatever, however you want to say it. But just super impressed. Super, super impressed. And I can see why he was an early pick. I really needed to see it for myself because I've had him in the team for a fair while now. But to see it tonight, just oozes class, this man. And, yeah, definitely in my side. And there's no world that he hasn't played his way into that side next week, into the opening round side. So thanks again, G, for that really, really generous donation, mate. Really do appreciate you. Hopefully that was an okay response, man. Thank you again, brother. Jackie, thought Lombard looked good. Didn't realize how much size he's put on. Should start round 1. Took the words out of my mouth. And yeah, that's a good point about the size and getting back to the fact that he's not a first-year player. He's got a little bit of size on him. Gee, I may have missed this, but is Kiddy Coleman faded his price? Yes, at this stage, in my humble opinion, mate, because he had the opportunity down back, high tog, to actually really, really prove to us why he's a worthy selection. And at the moment, well, from what I saw, not on that, mate. Owen, g'day, Owen. Hey, mate, hope you're going well. You too, bud. Still thinking of starting the Bont. Are you thinking of another 600k mid other than Anderson? Now, I can't give too much away because I'm putting out a team reveal very, very soon. But, man, I've blown up my structure. And, yeah, I can't say too much. With what I'm doing at the moment, Bont and Gorn outski, and I've replaced them with 3 premiums. So 2 Ubers for 3 keeper premiums that may have a little bit of value here and there. I don't know if I'm going to stick with it. So you can probably guess who I've got at R2. I've gone bang right down the bottom. I can't believe I'm considering it. It's dangerous. It's living on the edge, but yeah, wait for the team reveal. Wait for the team reveal. But Bont very well may come in again. Well, Charlie scored dominated, mate, with that 134, didn't he? Metal Gary Lyon pointed out one for Petracca, Oliver, and Viney were all in the bottom 10 or so players in the comp for disposal efficiency, kicking inside 50. No wonder D struggled with forward connection. What a stat. As I said, just really butchered it tonight. The one that really stood out. And you saw the great, the elite, and then just the poor. He just bursted out of that stoppage, and you thought, wow, look at that. First, 4 or 5 steps, just burnt them off, and then bang, straight to Kiddy. So super disappointing. But yeah, good point there. Be interesting to see how Melbourne go this year. No Boz TN sad. No Boz TN sad. Are you sad that Boz isn't on? I am too. I love when I'm with my brothers. I'm not too sure if that's what you mean, mate. But yeah, and congrats to Boz with his NBL stuff. The man is such an elite person, to be honest. Useless, how are you, my man? Hey, I hope you're well, mate, and you too, brother. Have to say with each game, I get more and more confident starting rookie rucks. Alluded to maybe what I'm thinking. Not R1 and R2. I'm talking potentially R2. I'm not going to be disrespectful and say nuts to go with 2 rookies at R1 and R2, but considering R2, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I've been so big on lessons learned, set and forget, all that sort of stuff. Very interesting where the rucks were taken today. So Dan Batten, very early ruck selection, and probably the ruck that you're not expecting. I think by round 3, the top 7 were gone. I just managed to get onto the top 7. After the top 7, it just drops off. So I was pretty satisfied with what I did actually there in the rucks. Cheesy, what are your thoughts on Willa Ashcroft's role? Can he make that leap to Uber premium tiers? Now, absolutely he can. Look, this guy's a 2-time Norm Smith medalist. Like, he's a freak, mate. If he was playing for maybe any other team, yeah, pretty much any other team, he would have such a better opportunity, of getting to that Uber elite. I was expecting Chocky's, Hog, and CBA's to slightly dwindle a little bit, and I may have been wrong there. He can score from wherever he is. When I look at some of the other names that I think are going to be around that top 8, when I look at, and I know I may be wrong on this, but Heaney is a pod. Someone like a Finn Callaghan when he gets back to full fitness. There are a number of blokes that I think have potentially high ceiling, even his teammate and Huey McCluggage. I know we're paying up a lot more there. It's maybe an Ashcroft v. Goulden discussion for people. You go wherever floats your boat. Yes, I think there is a world. I can't put a percentage on it. Yeah, go with your gut on that one. I'm not starting him, but I see a world where he absolutely could potentially get close to top 8. Yeah, because he won't cop much attention. I don't see him copping a tag. That'll go to Huey, Chocky, maybe in with Zack Bailey, Dane Zorko maybe down back. I just don't think it goes to Will. Just my opinion though, buddy. Mass, throw all these scores out the window. Lions and Suns will play round 0, so that's all people care about next week. Demons, Tigers, on the other hand, will count for everything going into round 1. That's a good point that Mass makes there. We will get a second look at some of these teams. Obviously, all the teams that are playing in round 0, but the teams that aren't, yeah, this is really our last look at them. So good point there, man. Usually, Zack Bailey, the perfect flex player. Either goes 120 or 60, rarely in between the two. So that is a good point that you make there as well. Maybe that consistency, maybe those floor scores won't hurt as much because we've got the flex. So not a bad point there, man. How long have we been going for? Almost 50 minutes. I thought no one's going to be on the live. I'll literally just do the live so uploads to YouTube straight away. But, and I've got no idea how many comments I'm behind. I can only literally see like 3 at a time on my screen, but what is the time? I've had a massive. All right, I'm not stopping. You know that I don't. I try not to leave any comments unanswered or questions. So I'm going to turbo now, blokes and ladies. I'm going to turbo. Jace, currently have McAndrew at R2, and how the team looks outside the ruck line. Do you think it's worth having Duff Tyler? I think we've got to have. Well, those that are looking at McAndrew have to have some sort of cover because look, he could have a bad game or two and see you later, son. And then what do we do? Yeah, do you know what? I'm just hoping that Liam Reedy gets a game and score you 50 if you need it type thing. Do we look at the fact that, instead of looking what Useless said about Bailey to flex, do we look at that and say, well, look, hey, even if worst case scenario, he does get dropped, we've got the flex. We've got 22 scores and hopefully no one does a Tom Green 5 type operation and we'll be saved. So, yeah, ideally, yes. I'd feel so much more comfortable. Look, Duff Tyler, he playing for West Coast, did really well was it the match sim, prep game, whatever. Not for me at the price, but people may absolutely disagree, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine. Jakey Wood, hello, Jakey. Thoughts on Wilmot? The Pepsi Max King is my favorite player. I love the man. I'd adopt him. I'd have 25 beers with him, and he would be the best bloke to have a beer with. Maybe not. You'd cop a few wet willies, I'm sure, but I love him. As a super coach option, remember Dane Zorko wasn't there tonight. I think he's a wonderful draft option. And do you know what? I could have selected him today, and I didn't. I just thought people are going to say I'm biased and all that. I went with someone different on my defensive bench, but he was on the table, and I almost slapped myself in the face because he's my man. I should have just went there. In saying that, I did get one of his Brisbane teammates around the same age. So, given the fact Zorko wasn't there, I think it's tough. I think he'll, along with Zorko, take the majority of the kick-in, so there's some bonus points there. Had a really nice ratio. So I'm on a different screen at the moment, but his ratio, I think, was 20-7, wasn't it? Ratio wasn't 20-7, sorry, but 20 kicks and 7 handballs, so that's really good. 89% disposal efficiency, 20 kicks, 89%. That's brilliant. So look, 103 points. The issue is, what's his ceiling going to be like? If he got 27 touches tonight, 20 of those were kicks, and he went at 89% for 103. So that's probably my main issue there. It just seems like if that was a Zorko type game, then he would have scored so much higher. Where's it gone down? 6 contested. Bit of a lack of contested. Do you know what? And that was in 78% TOG as well. So, yeah, do you know what? Not a bad game at all from Pepe, but you're probably with that stat line. Well, personally, I want to see a bit more of a ceiling anyway, dude. CDT says, Mass, Tyler, not Cooper, Duff, Titler. Not. Oh, am I saying it wrong? Are you trolling me with Titler? Because I know what your username is. Like people saying, oh, Duff Time. Is it Titler? I'm just going to say CDT. CDT for me, I think, at this stage. But thank you very much, mate, if I'm butchering that, if I'm colbing it, if you will. Jake Wood, how are you, dear? Very well, thanks, brother. How are you, Jakey? Hope the team plan is going well. Thanks for tuning in, my man. Actually struggling to get Lombard or Robertson on field with my setup. Interesting, man. Both my forward bench. Good issue to have, I guess. Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. It's a good issue to have. Perfectly said. If you like, this is the thing, isn't it? Because you pretty much, well, you don't guarantee anything, but you look at that in one case and go, 2 really good money makers, fantastic. But is it like wasting them on the bench? You know what I'm saying? It's tough, isn't it? With my current setup, so I can't give too much away because I'm doing this team reveal, but a bit of a half. Actually, yeah, well, I've only got, no, I lie because I was playing around. I've got them both on field, but I've actually got one of these blokes in my flex. So let's just say Robertson in the flex, and then I've got Leo Lombard as my F6 at the moment. So, yeah, I'm fielding both, but yeah, not both in the forward line. So I don't know, maybe flex it, dude, depending on what you're doing there, mate. Trav McCluggage, 91 for 45% TOG. Definitely a starting option, without a doubt. Without a doubt. He'll just continue from where he went on last year. And do you know what? I think, and if anyone has purchased the guide, I sort of do apologize, but not at the same time. I went way overboard. And do you know what? I need to give an official apology to all the other content creators that contributed for the team previews, because our instructions were, you don't have to go over, but I went way overboard. I think I could be lying. It could have been like 18 pages, mine in the end. And so I went way overboard. So I do apologize. It looks like I've just tried to make myself look good, but once you start, you can't stop type thing. Well, that's what I'm like when I'm writing, particularly about the Lions. But one thing that I did note there, and Wiz did a wonderful article, talked about who's tagging, who gets tagged. Great data in the guide as well. But one thing with McCluggage is, and you look back to that grand final after getting an absolute bath from Ocean Mullen, he's learning how to deal with the tag much better now. He's got Chocky Neal to talk to about this as well. Chocky's been tagged, seems like his whole life, pretty much from the day he got to Brisbane anyway, and I'm guessing some of his time at Freo, but they did have Nat Fife there as well. But yeah, he's dealing better with the tags, I think. And if you can particularly can kick straight for goal, who knows where this man could get in regards to averages here. My eyes like flickering. I don't know what that is, but yeah, look, absolutely a starting option. Inashator, mate, you need to phonetically or break it down like Mass did with Duff Titler. I don't know if he's trolling me there. I reckon you might be right, actually. But please let me know how to pronounce this right. A legendary member of the channel. Evening, lads. Hope that you're well, mate. And thank you very much. If any members that are watching are still not on the Google Drive, email me, please, supercoach@outlook.com, and I will get you on the Google Drive because I'm putting stuff on there, putting content articles on there as well. So thank you very much, mate. Appreciate that. And anyone looking for a cashy, $50 open league, so unlimited spots. And I do have some spots in a 200 head-to-head as well. If you are interested, please email me, supercoach@outlook.com. That too, and the prison league, and I need to get onto that. I reckon I'd have a fair few emails I need to get back to. I'll try to get back to it after this if I can. If not, it will be in the morning. Don't stress if I haven't got back to you about your prison league. Promise that I will. I've just been flat out lately. Supercoach Kiss of Death. I don't know if I want to read your comment, mate, because yeah, maybe a little bit of voodoo type stuff here. D4 is my biggest dilemma. Everything else is fine. D4, that's a good call. That's a good call. What have I done currently at D4? Yes. Well, my D4 is over 400K. That's what I'll say. D4 is over 400K. Brady. So my dog's going nuts. Brady, unrelated to the game, but how much have you weighed in mid-season buys as opposed to the early ones with your team structure? That's a good point. Not much at all. Not much at all. Well, look, I've absolutely considered it. I'd be silly not to consider it. But speaking with previous winners, it's not something they've done in the past. And I'm not just trying to do a copycat type style, but looking at what's worked. Well, all right, I'll backtrack a little bit. When I look at my side, most years, the majority of years, my starting side compared to my side when the buys start, it's drastically different. And that's through to either poor decision-making with the premiums, injuries, stupid sideways, a lot of different reasons. But rarely does a team look like that. So if I'm really, really keen on a player, I'm trying at the moment, and other people may disagree, this may be the wrong way to look at it, but the way I'm looking at it is I'm not going to not select a player because of a buy that's going to occur in 3 months' time. So much water to go under the bridge in between there. And say if I don't select him because of that buy, they pop off a week or two later, a couple of premiums from that buy go down. I go, oh, I can invest it again in that buy now. Too late. You know, I could have started with this bloke. That's the way that I feel about it. But if people have other ideas or yeah, just let us know. I'm not saying that my way is the best way, but that's the way that I'm approaching it, my man. CJG. I was getting my J's and my G's mixed up there. This is bad. How are you, man? Been so confident on Jasper Fletcher this preseason. Is today's score anything to worry about? Didn't watch the game. Also think Jake Ricardo at R2 as a super pod. I don't know how Jakey boy went today. I haven't looked at that myself. I haven't considered it, but I'll take a sneaky peek now. I'm not brave, I know, but I'll still take a sneak. Not now, so later on. With Jasper. Yeah, look, I haven't been big on Jasper for one major reason, and that's the fact that at his price, and it's the same as Pepsi in a little way, there are a lot of mouths to feed down there. In saying that, he's becoming one of the best halfbacks in the comp. He can play up the ground a little bit more. Ceiling could be an issue. There's just when you compare him to lots of the other options that we've got, and I know they're at a bit of a higher price, I just feel so much safer with them. Maybe if you didn't have the early buy, you could look at that as a little bit more upside. This bloke is a superstar. He is an absolute superstar already. He could be our best player in a couple of years. I rate him that highly. I really do. But look, see how he goes next week. He's a type of player that if he's really going that well, I'd be prepared to pay up a little bit more for after the buy with more data to give me the confidence. But look, if you were really big on him before the game, I don't think this is enough for you to say, oh, he's right off my list now. He wasn't fantastic. You can see the, excuse me, the stats there, so I don't need to read them out, but I will. 45 Supercoach points. I didn't realize it was that low, actually. Only 13 touches. Did have 86% TOG, only 175 meters gained. So, yeah, far from a terrific performance from Fletcher. But, look, I'm not too concerned. But in saying that, I wasn't really big on him as a starting selection to begin with, mate. Kiss of Death. I'm chasing my season rank of 200 last year. Well, you are not the kiss of death. Is this one of those opposite type things? So, very, very nice rank there, man. Lewis says it's actually Duff Titler, says it. Well, Mass, I need to give you more credit, mate. I think you may have been having a laugh there. Titler, initiator, just a different spelling, because I was any. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to go. I thought you were talking about Duff CDT initiator. I'm going to remember this. I don't have a pen to write it down. Thank you very much, mate. The initiator. And you explain that in such an elite way as well. Just a different spelling because I was any. Love it, any. Zero because I'm a gamer. like it. It's lame in hindsight. It is not lame whatsoever. I rate it. I rate it, my friends. And welcome to the official community, mate, as a member. What's the time here? I'm really starting losing my mind. 11:30. Jace, did you catch last night's game? Oh, look, it was not really, man. Not really. I did watch bits and pieces. Long story short, I was meant to go to this catch up with the great JP, Janath, and Causa was there, Blue Ballers was there, some great people there. But I did have a bit of a major issue. And in all seriousness, it wasn't a personal issue, it was something else. Due to confidentiality, I can't say too much, but couldn't make it to the game. Got home extremely late. It was a bit of a nightmare type scenario. Things worked out okay in the end, but long story short, no, not much. But Tanner, yeah, he's the talk of the town. I selected him a couple of years ago and got burnt. He was the biggest trap on earth. Looks like he's worked on his running game, obviously being out of the game for the last 12 odd months. Bit of halfback type stuff, playing a bit of the Baz role. I want to see what he looks like with Baz in the side. He just feels trappish to me, personally, but maybe that's the burn factor. Because Jolie says, Tanner Bruin looks good, but he did, sorry, there's a but here, but you did that 2 years ago. Mega burn. Jolie took the words out of my mouth. Is that bias, though, that we've got there because he burnt us? I don't know. Initiator. Feel like I'd rather go Wilmot over Fletcher any day. I would. Yes. I would agree on that. Not many people can throw off Nick Dacos. Very, very good point, my friend. Very, very good point. Oh, and I tell you what, I am here at the end of the comment section. I can't believe I did it. And we've got right on 100 people. Magnificent. Jody, the commentator said something about having less ball ups this year means tagging will be less effective. Dacos probably gets freed up. That's a good point, mate. Yeah, nice. Good data. Thank you. Data. Thank you very much for that. You know, the other good thing with Dacos is that Adelaide he plays round one. They're stuffed with injuries. You know, Sligo's not there. Rankin's not there. It's going to be tough. For him. So I think that he may be my early, well, I don't know what the schedule's like, but VC or C. I wasn't expecting that. But yes, I do have Nick Dacos in the side. I don't think he's really going to move. Sorry, I read that comment without actually putting it up, mate. Now, I'll tell you what, I think that's the end of the comments there by the look of it. Is there anything else? I'll just quickly go to my notes here. And again, these aren't terrific notes. Pepsi, talked about Tim, talked about Huey, Lockie Neal, Jared Berry. I've just got not relevant, but bloody courageous. He is so tough, Bears. Remember early on he took that mark, just did not take his eye off the ball. Rat Bailey we've talked about. Kiddy we've talked about. Dunklin with Lashcroft I've just got here. Didn't get out of second gear. McCarthy play him over Jamara. Took we've talked about. Look, Bailey Humphrey rotated with track forward mid early. The B-Bear did a few little things. Lovely specky and a goal in the third. And that just showed why he's such an elite type talent, that X factor. And then I think did he kick another goal or he might have missed the second one? I'm not too sure. What were his stats? Sorry, I was on a different screen. Bailey Humphrey. Another man I picked up in the official draft today on the bench in my forward line, which I thought was a decent type option up forward. But there was blokes like, Jai Simpkin. It was out of Bailey, Simpkin, Shea Bolton was still on the board, like undrafted, I'm talking here. So, yeah, it felt like there were those top forward well, you got the top almost three forward options, in my opinion, like, Shees, Track, and Flanders. And then you've got the next, do you say 4 to 6? Is 6 too much? Maybe 3 to 4, 5. And then you can literally throw a blanket over anyone else. So that's why I really wanted to get a couple of nice forwards early in that draft. But back to Humphrey, 75 Supercoach points, 16 touches, 9 and 7, 3 marks, 2 tackles, 1 goal, 1. So I must have missed that other one. I thought that he did. 7 contested, which is okay. 75%. Yeah, look, just okay. I think with the bye, no real reason to pick him, I don't think. Humphrey, Track, talked about him. Wits, I just got looked to dominate in the ruck early, playing against Curtin and ZZ top, but then the Lions boys started to hold their own. So yeah, not impressed by Jared Wits, and he was he undrafted? No, I think he may have been drafted. I forget today, but yeah, just not really relevant for us this year. Then I talked to Anderson, Lombard, Yulin I've talked about, and just Jamara here. I've got not worth the price. Plenty of cheaper rookie options, 2 touches and a goal at halftime. And I didn't even take anything about him after that. So that is it, guys. Sorry, we've got. So I was about to wrap things up. We've got, I think, 5 more. We'll go 5 more questions, and then I am going to bed. Oh, and a quick Dwayne Russell story. 1 more question, Dia. Do you reckon having 2 premiums for 1 week buy is too many? No, not whatsoever, man. No. I think most teams will have buys with 2+ premiums. You're only asking 2 premiums. No, you don't want to see my side, mate, if you're worried about 2. So, yeah, my advice is 2 premiums are fine, mate. Only other interest was Lombard lacking that backing that kid in. That Lombard, for me, was the most impressive. I'm not saying he was best on ground, but for me, he was the most impressive player that I saw in the game for what he produced. Just so impressed with him. So impressed. Oh, Global's joined us. Globe, how are you, my man? Doing a late night shift, my man. You're a machine. I appreciate you, mate. Look, as I said, we've been going, I think on my screen, it says an hour and 9 minutes, maybe shorter, maybe longer, I'm not too sure. But it was literally just going to be like a 10, 15 minute. I wrote a few notes down, just go bang, bang, bang. But I love the community. Love chatting with all you guys. Can't get enough of mate, you know that. But much love, brother. Hope that you're all well, Globes. Kaylin, hey, Kaylin. Thoughts on Clary? Should have went 110 in his limited tog. I've written him off a little bit too early, I think, Clary. I haven't seriously considered selecting him. I've got him in my keeper draft league, which is cool. With Damon from Supercoach Edge. Much love to you, brother. Hope little one's doing well. And a few of the other guys there. But opportunities there without Tom Green, isn't it? Got your Roastons, your Cogs, Toby Green getting a lot of time in there. No for me. But if he can get back to where he was earlier days at Melbourne, like we're talking he's already Supercoach royalty. So already Supercoach royalty. No for now for me. But hey, if he looks that good, happy to jump on after the bye. And we're going to finish off with the Metal Pig. If you go back to last year for Tanner Bruin and remove what looks like 3 injury-affected games because he missed the next week, each time he averaged mid-80s. Here's going to be an interesting one. A massive opening round watch. From what we saw, what was it just last night, he looked like a pick. Not for me at the moment. Like, I've got Parrish and Young. Structurally, I can't fit him. So for me to get, I suppose you could flex it. But for me at the moment, structurally, I would have to select him over Parrish or Young, which I'm not prepared to do. I'm going with those 2 boys ahead of him. You save money. If you look, what is it, close to 100K off Young? But there's no way in this world I'm going to go Bruin over Young. It could burn me. And if you go with Tanner, I generally hope that the bloke does well and you go well. Right, 2 more I can see here. Global, smash the like button. I appreciate that, mate. Look, I don't look. Actually, I lie. We have there was likes for the 2 goats videos, weren't there, with Joven and Blakey boy. So we did try to get, I think it was over 100 for one, 150 for the other, and I think they both went over 200. So that was such a fun series to record, the GOAT series. But anyone that does like, thank you very much. If you are here, it's a pretty easy thing to do just to support the algorithm and all that. But hey, if you don't want to like, you don't have to like. That is all good. But for anyone that does, thank you very much. And for G-Bags as well, thank you very much for that donation, mate. You don't have to do that type of stuff, but it is really much appreciated, mate. That's great stream, DR. Off to watch a TV show, Fallout. Sounds interesting, mate. Enjoy it. And thanks very much for tuning in. As I said, it was meant to be more of a video type style than a Q&A. But thank you very much. I don't think there's anything else really I need to cover. Look, all the scores are here. They're accessible. You can have a look at that for yourself. But really, I think we covered all the relevant type players. In a nutshell, for me, Eulins and Kiddy just didn't do enough at their price. And I'll be looking to fade them. 2 could be an interesting pod if somehow he gets forward DPP status. Lombard is an absolute lock in my side for me. Petracca won't leave my side. Butchered a little bit, but 18 contested, super impressive, and basically triple the next best, close to anyway. Cameron's not going to be a pick for us, so don't look there. Chalky as a super pod. Don't like his age, but hey, he's got a lot to prove. Well, he doesn't have anything to prove, but he's going to be purely focused on his footy, hopefully, this season. Zack Bailey, absolutely, as a pod up forward. Moddy, I'm not huge on, but draft like him. Dunkley didn't get out of second gear. McCluggage, little corky just after half time, but look at the Tog. I think Trav mentioned that. Just elite type stuff. He'll be a great starting pick, I think. Will Ashcroft again didn't get out of second gear. Fletcher, not his best game. Set him fading Kiddy. So that is pretty much it, guys. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. It was meant to be just a rapid fire, but if you have stuck with me the whole way, thank you very much. And again, shout out to all of the people at Herald Sun, legends there today, welcomed me with open arms, got involved in the live draft, then obviously sat down with a potty, had a bit of a tour, went right up, if you don't mind, to the boardroom. Classy operators up there, classy operators, and a bloke like me that literally looks like you just dragged him off the side of the street. Yeah, I'm not the sort of bloke for those sort of boardrooms, but yeah, big shout out to all those guys. Had a fantastic day. It was a very long day. And again, final shout out. This is to Dwayne Russell. So true story. And I was even going to do a little 2-minute video about this and actually show them. I might do it on my next video. But called up SN the other day. Max literally ran into a pole. How am I saying? I'm not too sure. Meant to be this elite sportsman, athlete, footy player, and he runs into a pole. So had to leave work early, pick him up from school. And while I was waiting there, they say, oh, he's going to be 15 odd minutes. I thought, look, I'm going to ring up SEN because I was listening and Dwayne was there. It was Dwayne's word at the time. So thought I'm going to give him a quick call and didn't know what I was going to talk about at the start. By this time, Max had gone in to the car, got there a little bit earlier. And so I was, can we ask him? He said, look, I want to be a commentator in if I don't actually play AFL. Maybe we can ask for a bit of advice. So long story short, he said, how are you, mate? Got my little fella here. Would love to be a commentator one day. What advice have you got for him? Gave us a little bit of basic type advice, did Legend, but this was just unexpected. He said, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to leave a pair of my personal binoculars that I use to call games through. They've been at almost every ground you can think of. Top quality type stuff. Is it Bushnell? I don't know if I'm Bushnell. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the brand correctly, but my father-in-law said, best of the best, mate. These are and you wouldn't expect anything less from Dwayne, but literally said, I'm going to gift these to a young fella and hopefully that can start him off. And so I could not believe it, a little bit speechless, a collector's item really, but the fact that he was generous enough to do that, his personal pair that were from back in the day, absolute classics. I think that says a lot about the type of human that he is, and you can love him or hate him as a commentator. I think more people are fans than not. I've always been a huge fan of Pipes, but yeah, it says a lot about the man, the fact that he would gift that to a complete stranger, a little fella that's passionate about his footy. Haven't seen Max tonight. It's been a big one. He's with his mum at the moment, but when I do and pass him on, he's going to be super excited. And even Dwayne wrote a little note. Hope they start you off well with a bit of a signature for the young man. So cannot thank you enough, Dwayne. Shout out to all the people at SEN, all the people at Herald Sun. Just wanted to end with a little bit of love for some people that have really looked after me in the last couple of days as well. So that is it, guys. Much love. I'm going to bed. No, I'm not. I'm going to try to get back to some of these emails, Prison League emails. Remember, cash leagues, prison leagues, email me. If I don't get back tonight, I'm sorry. I'll do my best to do it tomorrow. So let's go, Lions. Lock in this repeat. 4-5, Pete, the way we're going at the moment. No, I'm not that arrogant. I'm not that biased. But, hey, I think, in all seriousness, it is ours to lose this year. Good luck with your remaining. Good luck with your team planning. Hope you get to watch the remaining Pracky games. Remember, don't stress too much. We've got opening round. We've got a little while to absolutely lock players in. But for some teams, as someone mentioned before, I think it was a great mass. Yeah, we do really need to pay attention, particularly if they're not playing in the opening round. So I'm rambling on. I'm going. See you later. Much love.